Okay, sorry. Welcome to ORL round number 8 here in Zandvoort. We'll go on board with Lex Dog here for his flying lap. Sorry, I just opened it on the wrong account, like an idiot. I just forgot to change it over to YouTube. So I accidentally had it opened on Twitch, and not the league that I was logged into, but it's all good. Sorry. Okay, so this has been a pretty good lap, so I haven't been able to commentate. I'm just apologising to OPSL because I accidentally just opened up a stream. Okay, okay, so that was a pretty good lap there from Lex Dog. Sorry, I'm just apologising to the OPSL guys, for opening the stream on their account. I had just commentated for them on Friday and I forgot to switch over to the YouTube service on PlayStation. But we see a couple drivers on their lap here. I think that's Rhino with a little bit of a spin here in sector 2. The Mercedes swiftly moves out of his way. So I'm gonna move over to X2 Mickey as he's on an out lap, and I think he'll be the only one on a lap because everybody else should be on an in lap. Okay, yeah, okay, let's go to Mickey. Okay, so he's coming here to start his flying lap here at Zandvoort in the Netherlands, as you're going to open up the DRS around one of the biggest bankings in the F1 between the 100 meter board and the 50 meter board. Turns it in nice and late, gets the late apex, but he lifts off a bit late there and misses the inside apex, but then takes a very tight line through there, getting on the power down through this twisty, turny section of racetrack here into this tricky right-hand flick, and he nails the apex, runs out wide using all of the track that he has at his disposal. There, tapping the inside curb, braking at 50 meters, cutting it tight, but then you want to run back out wide, back to the right, so then you can maximize this left-hander here. Very easy to accidentally touch that curb, and the curbs here are very, very aggressive and like to unsettle the car a lot. And then braking at the start of that curbing on the left-hand side, hits the apex. Now you flick back to the left-hand side, but once again another slow, sluggish left-hander into the final two corners. He misses, he makes a late apex, so he recovers it, gets a good exit now through the big banking corner, flat out, all the way to the line, opening up the DRS. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 1 minute 12.0. It puts him P2, but he is P2 by 4 tenths. So that is a big, big margin Quaz has got on the rest of the field. I assume we'll see Hello there also be up there. A couple of Div 1 drivers here reserving today. Not too many, so it shouldn't just make it effectively. This is, I guess, a preview for Hello there. Kind of what he's going to do later today in Division 1. So it'll be good for him. It's probably good for Rhino as well. Rhino obviously back in the McLaren for this race. He's reserving for McLaren. He raced there all season 1. So he'll feel a bit at home in that car. But obviously he drives for, I believe, Mercedes now. I'm actually not 100% sure. But, yeah. See a couple drivers out on the outlaps now. I'm going to move to hello there, who is about to cross the line. He has a 12.4, so not as fast as I thought. But Unhod Lizard goes P2 with a 111.8. Sorry, I'm missing everyone. I'm a bit snuffled up. I was just out, and yeah, got a snuffly nose. Ooh, Alpha Tauri Pro Gamer in the gravel. I hope that's no damage on his car. Doesn't look like it, maybe just some talent damage. If I could clear my nose, I would. I sound, yeah. But, we see Call Me Keg going into turn 1 in the Mercedes here. A little bit of it almost looked like he got a bit of mid-corner understeer there, just, it kind of steered away from the apex, but he hits the second one, unlike Mickey on his lap that I watched. So now he goes through this little bank corner, cuts it to the left. He got a bit of a poor line there. He didn't use all the track he probably could have, but now this section of the racetrack is just so phenomenal. The camera angle's amazing. Ooh, as he runs out into the grass there, tyres will not like that one, but he made the corner. He would have had to slow down a bit more than he would have liked. He's a bit all over the road here, and he's not using all the track either. It'll be costing him dearly when it comes to the lap time department. But Quaz Quacker goes P1 by even further. As Melbourne Mac picked up a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Coolboy. That could be big for the main race, but opening up the DRS just Call Me Keg. Braking hard on the anchors, back to the left, and then on the throttle about now. Doesn't use any of the track available to him. I don't imagine this will be a very, very fast lap time. Unfortunate for the driver, but he's going to cut it all the way to the right-hand side for the run to the line. Through the banking, to the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 14.2. So a very slow lap time there, but I assume he'll be able to improve. So we see SLR Squirrel on a lap, I think. Yeah, but he's been impeded there, and he's been impeded again. Driver's failing to get out of the way, and he won't improve on his lap time. He'll just come into the pits, I'd assume. Yeah. He got impeded so bad, that could have been a good lap, but now we see Melbourne Mac on the run. No, he's going to start a lap here in the Ferrari, so he'll go off board into turn 1 he goes, through the right-hander, nice and neatly on the power. As now through this little bank left-hander, he goes. Now through this amazing section of racetrack. It's not tricky, it's all flat out in these high downforce Formula 1 cars, but it does look very, very nice to watch. He's nearly a 10th up on his lap time. He'll be wanting to find that time. It'll get him nearly up to P8 just in sector 1 alone, so he has all the time to gain here through this right-hander. Easy to get on the power, a bit too early, loop it. He doesn't use all the track on the right-hand side there, but I think he recovered it. But oh, he's charging the battery. He's out of battery, he's ran out of battery, but he's 5/10 up and purple, but the battery may hurt him. The being out of battery will hurt his lap time. He's out of battery, and the run to the line is going to be painful for Melbourne Mac here. So incredibly slow, struggling to reach gear 8 here on the run to the line. It's cost him dearly. He was purple in sector 2, but now he's still gone P5, but it could have been so much more for him. But we see a couple of drivers now in the pit lane or on laps. We're going to go on board with a low there. Another Ferrari. I seem to be gluing to these Ferraris here in qualifying. But what's he going to do? He gets on the power neatly now. Flat out all the way to this down to gear 6 right-hander, and he flicks the steering wheel. He's a 10th up on his lap time. He misses the apex actually a little bit. He got a bit of understeer, and he's now down to gear 5 again, missing the apex. But it's actually, I've found that it's actually quite good to do that sometimes. But then that apex he's just missed, that'll lose him dearly. His teammates impeding him here. His teammates are not moving out of the way. Hello there will be like, hello, I'm right here, I'm right here, I'm right here. And he's had to miss the apex for it, and he's made contact with his teammate. What is Melbourne Mac doing? But hello there now. He's going to have to bail out of this lap time. I don't understand what Melbourne Mac might have thought he was doing there. As Coolboy's left the session. Oh, Coolboy's crashed. That probably was before related to the five-place grid penalty. I might have missed it, but yellow flag. It's Melbourne Mac going very slowly on track. He'll get back into the pit lane. Maybe out of fuel. But normally in out of fuel, it's just low fuel mode in this game, and then you can just go all the way. Yeah, he's just there a little bit of acceleration. I don't know. Who knows, you know, it happens, but we see now PSI legends on a lap here in the Red Bull Racing car, opening up the DRS now into the third sector. He's purple in sector 2. This could be a very good lap time. It looks like a lot of drivers are saying purple sector 2 as the track ramps up here. He doesn't use all the track, but he uses quite a bit of it, so he should carry the speed now through the banking. That curb can loop the car. It looked like it made it a bit unsettled, but now the run to the line, he's also out of ERS. But what's he going to do? It's going to be provisional pole position by a mere 50 milliseconds. It's a 1:11.5 for the Red Bull driver. What a stunning lap here for PSI Legends. So see a couple drivers now on out laps, but we'll go to SLR Squirrel here. No, we won't go to SLR Squirrel, he's just at a lap time. Who will we go to? Tokyo Griffin, he's 5 milliseconds down on his time here in the Alfa Romeo car. Oh, he nearly looped it, that'll ruin his lap. Oh, unfortunate. I don't understand. I've never seen a car get so squirrely through there. Maybe a bit of a tailwind unsettling the car there in the Alfa Romeo. We won't be happy with that. He was so close to being up on his time, so yeah, a bit unfortunate for him, but we see a driver of Pro Gamer on their lap here about to start their flying lap, so we'll go on board with the AlphaTauri for their flying lap, picking up the power nice and early. As now the run down the straight begins into turn 1, breaking in between the 50 and 100 meter board. There's actually a little speck of grass there you can see. Oh, as he tries desperately to make the late apex, that probably cost him more time than it's worth for him. But, you know, he's done well of it. He'll probably be down on his time, but it's got a decent exit. It's now through the double run. Oh, wait, no, invalidated. I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, we're not gonna do the line. Well, no, he's starting lap here. We'll get on board with the Ferrari. It's very similarly to SLR Squirrel, but now flicks back to the right. Back now through the banking, through the left, on the power, nice and early. Whee! Gets a bit squirmy there, and he's gonna back out of it. Probably lost him about 2/10. I don't think he would have been able to gain that back, so very smart of him, as there's a minute 30 left in this qualifying session. If you want to go out, you want to go out now. But who's going to be the next to be on a lap? It's going to be Quaz. Although they've just done an 11.6, and that puts him P3. Hate that I missed that lap. I'm a bit all over the place here in this qualifying session. Sorry, I've got to invite a driver, but I will go to Quaz Quacker, so when I finished inviting him, I can go off board with the Alfa Romeo. Okay, so Quaz Quacker through turn 1, got a decent run there through the exit. Now flicking to the right, it's a very high speed corner, just shift down twice, and now darting back down to the apex, use the undulation to carry more speed than you normally would, as now through this flat-out section of racetrack, this camera angle is so nice, especially at the beginning of a race. He goes purple in Sector 1. This could be his run for pole position. He was provisional pole earlier. PSI Legends beat it by a mere 50 milliseconds. He's right now already on target to beat it as he darts to the right. He's just dancing the car around the corners like he has all the grip in the world. It almost looks like he's in a W11. PSI Legend fails to make the line. So that will be costly for his qualifying session if Quacker does improve. As Hello There doesn't improve to the line, he was on a in-lap. As Quacker's smashing his lap here. It looks like he's in a W11 around here. He has that much grip. He's about to get pole by about 2/10, given that he doesn't mess up this lap. The run to the line, he gets a clean exit. He's going to open up the DRS. What's it going to be? The line, it's going to be a 1 minute 11.32. It's going to be a 1 minute 11.2. Here in this qualifying session, so it is pole by 0.3 of a second here in Zandvoort, at least for the moment. We still have Unhold Lizard, no, he's going slowly. Eyesight and Rhino, no, he's pitting. Everybody else is pitting. Mickey's just gone into pit wall. Zonic on a lap, he's 15 milliseconds down on his time. He won't be anywhere near it. No, he's gone straight. Maybe a bit of a controller disconnection there. So, that is it. As we see Quacker take pole by 2/10 in the Alfa Romeo. Will he be able to carry that momentum into the race here? And Alfa Romeo will be very, very happy. As PSI Legends has lagged out. I sent you a friend request earlier when you logged into the lobby. I'll send you an invite if you accept that. Just tell me in chat when you accept it. So that's a very interesting grid here for the Division 2 race here today. So it's Quacker in the Alfa Romeo, followed by PSI Legends, Hello There, Eyesight Rhino, Unsod Lizard, Mickey, and Squirrel, Mac, Zonic. Then Dead Heat rounds up the top 10 here for the race in Zandvoort. But Melbourne Mac does have a 5-place grid penalty, so actually Tokyo Griffin rounds out the top 10. But Melbourne Mac has it all to do here now for the main race for Ferrari. So we will see how it goes. I'll see if he accepted my friend request here. Sorry guys, just people lagging out because the game's absolutely dog shit. Yeah, he did. Okay. I sent you an invite, PSI. As the formation lap will get underway very, very shortly here in the Netherlands. It'll be very interesting to see if anybody wants to back up the pack or create any sort of gap here on the formation lap. PSI might get overtaken a few times as the AI does go very typically slow on the formation lap, so despite the fact you're not supposed to overtake, he very much may. As his AI actually jumping forward early, interesting enough. That's one person who will be able to legally re-overtake him if he wishes. But, yeah, so it looks like it is a mediums to hards race, or you're going to go hards to mediums if you're feeling brave. Just check the tyres here. Everybody on the medium tyres, so nobody's decided to go for a bit of a ballsy strategy here. Fair enough, honestly. Especially when you're in a position like Quaz. You don't want to take a gamble with strategy, you just want to hold the lead. You want to make sure you can just get away cleanly, not have any contact. So obviously, here in Zandvoort. Turn 1 is very twisty corner. It tightens up on you quite a lot, so drivers at turn 1 sometimes get caught out by how much it like closes up on you, and then there's contact because a driver has to cut back in to not go on their gravel, and just all those extra factors. But so the drivers here today are very competitive, highly clean, and we'll make sure we get the cleanest turn 1 possible. Hopefully not a safety car on lap 1, because that would be a stinker. That would be boring. Here's a lineup on the grid. Just doing all the tyre warm-up necessary. Sorry if I'm yawning a lot, I'm quite tired. Had to go to a party last night and only just got home. Hence why the race was delayed by like 20-ish minutes, 15-ish minutes. I'm sorry about that, by the way, for anyone who might not have made the race because of the delay. I couldn't help it. I thought someone else might have opened up the lobby. Because I said I wouldn't make it, but they didn't. But anyway, Quazquacker lining up on the grid here in Zandvoort. He is surprisingly going to be the second last person, despite being on pole position for the grid. He's going to be the second last person to line up on the grid, as now the Ferrari of Melbourne Mac lines up on the grid here in Zandvoort, as we're coming to 5 red lights here for 36 laps at the Dutch Grand Prix. And it's not lights out and away we go, and it's lights out and away we go. Quazquacker gets a good start there as he moves up. He keeps into P3, but now Rhino's moving up into P2 into turn 1. Oh, they nearly make contact. Rhino late on the brakes as ever, making sure he gets P2. He's got the inside for this next corner. He backs out of it. He doesn't want to make contact. He knows hello there might be a bit faster than him. He'll stick behind. He might go for another move here in lap 1. So let's move back down the grid. The Williams and the Alpine are side by side through this entire section of stand tunes here. This is great racing from the two drivers. Takes much cooperation to not make contact. And now X2 Mickey is up into P4, or retains his P4, as now back to the grid here, the AlphaTauri and Dead Heat are fighting away. No, they're not anymore, as now Rhino right on the back of the Ferrari here. Will he go for a move down this mini straight? He'll be turning on the overtake. No, he won't be. He's playing the more patient game here in the McLaren. He knows he's got 36 laps of this race. Ooh, the Unsolved Lizard and the the Alfa Romeo was side by side for a second there. In the chicane. No, they weren't. That was Tokyo Griffin and SLR Squirrel. Sorry guys, I'm a bit all over the place. Quazquacker obviously sets the fastest lap of the race because it's the first lap, but now we see the Alfa Romeo pulling to the right hand side, going down the inside, using the banking to carry enough speed and get the car pulled up. He doesn't quite get the position. They're still having a wonderful scrap here. Squirrel and Tokyo Griffin is now back through this left-hander. The Tokyo Griffin, he tries to take a little bit more of a real line there, taking all the way around the outside. It doesn't gain him time, it just loses him time. The Mercedes almost nearly had to go there, but now Ferrari of Melbourne Mac made a little dart to the right there, almost like he was going to go for a move on the Mercedes driver of Lex Dog, but he doesn't quite go for it, as he is getting very near to the back of that Mercedes, is Melbourne Mac. He caused a bit of trouble in qualifying from what I saw in the chat, but now Melbourne Mac gets a good exit compared to the driver in front. He's going to use his battery. Will he go down the inside? Yes, he will. Stomp late on the brakes. He gets the move. Oh, no, he doesn't. He runs out a bit wide and runs into the Mercedes. He rejoins dangerously on track, and he's caused chaos here. Cool Boy off in the hash. He got spun around by the rejoining Ferrari, who went crazy there. I think maybe Let's Dog just waited although they're picking up the fastest lap of the race, as Let's Dog is getting swarmed here down the straight. I think he maybe thought that was his fault, but from what I could see, it was a bit of an aggressive dart from Melbourne Mac, and he ran them out a bit wide onto the gravel. That was a bit of a silly move. He should have just stuck behind there, but Now back to the lead fights and getting a bit stretched out because now Hello There set the fastest lap. And now Quaz is trying to punch back here in sector one. He's gone purple. They are very equally matched on pace. The entirety of the top three running roughly the same lap time. But Quaz Quacker just shining a little bit above the rest. 8/10 in front. It is lap 3 though. So Hello There will pick up the DRS down the mini straight. And he opens it up. It doesn't gain him much. He must be running a bit higher downforce than potentially Quaz Quacker is. But down at the big banking, as long as he's within 1 second here at the detection point, it's going to be close here. He will get the DRS. It's not a very long DRS zone. It's very difficult to overtake here in Zandvoort, but he's going to open up the DRS. Rhino might even have a better look at himself, but never mind. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the straight line speed because it's just turning into a two-way DRS train here. But Hello, they're struggling to hold on to the one within 1 second of Quaz Quacker. As at the back here, I think I see Mickey and the Williams scrapping it out. As the Williams of Unsolved Lizard nearly make rear contact with Mickey. They are scrapping away here, only on lap 4 out of 36. It's some great racing. Mickey already out of ERS though. He's a 10th down on his previous best. Obviously, he's racing the other car. No! The Williams of Unsolved Lizard is in the wall. He made a mistake on the traction. Very easy to do in Zandvoort out of that corner. And it's caught the first driver out of many out now. He has front wing damage. He'll have to come into the lane. As now he's hitting the marker boards. Rip people who run no racing line because they won't know where to brake. They'll be left, right, and centre off the track. Whoop-de-woo. But will he get this home, or will he run wide into the wall? As he's going to hold up the two Mercedes drivers here. The Mercedes has to go down the inside. He's gonna send it. He's side by side. Is Keg and the Lizard. They make contact. Lizard just not having enough grip to hold it out. As now Lex Dog getting back involved in another fight around the same section of racetrack before. Now the Mercedes went side by side, and Call Me Keg, I think they might have made a little bit of contact there. As Lizard had to dart to the pit lane, but the Mercedes had dart to the right of Lex Dog. That was nearly calamity, nearly a driver straight into the pit wall. As we see Coolboy getting very close to the back of Pro Gamer. He's going to look right around the outside. He's forced it. Oh, he's made a bit of rear contact. He thought he maybe could go for a switchback, but he got covered off. But now, down through the dunes they go. They're both out of battery. They're both pushing. Coolboy will be getting very frustrated in the cockpit of the Haas car, getting held up very, very much by Pro Gamer from what I can see. But now Coolboy's gotten a brilliant run. Will he just have a little fake dart down the inside? Oh, he does dart a little bit more left, but I think that's just his line. And now he's going to open up the DRS. He's going to pull to the right-hand side. No, he's not. He's going to play the patient game here. He knows he's got time. He knows he has all the time in the world to make these moves. He might be getting held up. There's also a pretty high chance of a safety car, considering we've already seen many, many cars round and made contact here in Division 2. But now Coolboy's going to gain with the DRS, but I think he just doesn't have enough battery. But he's still going to go down the inside. Oh, that was an aggressive dive bomb. And he sent Pro Gamer into the gravel with rear right contact. He broke a bit late, just started into his right rear. That will be a ticket coming his way. I think that was a bit aggressive. I think maybe, just maybe, he might have pulled that move off. But I think there was space left, so maybe a bit silly from Coolboy there to dart so late, but we move on here in this Grand Prix. We have to move on to bigger and better things in this Grand Prix, otherwise we'll just get stuck on one singular incident. That's not something we can do unless it's something very, very big, almost like a Silverstone 2021 sort of incident. But we see a 1, 2, and 3 from who I believe to be all Division 1 drivers. I think Quaz is Div 1. You might have to fact check me on that. I'm not actually sure. I haven't checked in on Div 1 in a minute, but got a 2-second gap to Rhino on P2. Rhino must have made a move on Hello There somewhere. Maybe Hello There made a mistake. He's gonna go on board with the fry through the banking. It looks like he's just maybe already struggling for a little bit of grip almost. but Squirrel is also closing the gap to the Alpine driver of X2 Mickey here. Will he get within the DRS for this next mini straight after this string of corners here? You go back to the right, and then you get on the power and then brake again back to the right. Nail that apex. He's taken that brilliantly, using all the track and then using the track on the right hand side. I think he was within DRS ranges. There's yellow flags in sector 2. Maybe a little spin at the back. No, Coolboy and Lex. Oh no, Coolboy back down the grid. Never mind. I think he's fighting Lex Dog, but we're going to stay on board with Squirrel here because he will be within the DRS range of X2 Mickey, and this could be an overtake. He's got 6/10 to gain with the DRS. You can brake quite late here if there's yellow flags in sector 2. There's 2 cars going slow. One of them's recovered. The Mercedes still quite slow. It's now green flags again. No safety car. Squirrel got very close there. Maybe just not enough. But he also has more battery than X2 Mickey. Oh! He's beached it on the curb. He went too far to the left. He took using all the track to a whole nother level here in Zandvoort. That curb beaches your car. As Coolboy picked up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lanes. He's already in the pits. But Squirrel got caught out by the high curbs at Zandvoort, and now dead heat right on the back of him. Will he go for a move into the right-hander? I don't think he will. No, he thinks better of it. He backs out. But, oh, Squirrel's now in the wall. Squirrel in the wall. His front wings all over the track. Oh, he's reset the track. That will be a penalty of some description for Squirrel. But now he best not hold up Lex Dog like Onsod did before. He hasn't. He's moved out of the way. As we see Lizard going slowly on track there for a second. As Call Me Keg also running quite far back. But now we see Tokyo Griffin and Zonic. Also Melbourne Mac fighting for P5. This is a battle for P5 in this Grand Prix. As they're all going to open up the DRS. The Alfa Romeo is gaining. That Haas is sitting dark as all. A triple move. He went right, then left, then right, and then right around the outside, tries to go Tokyo Griffin. He just doesn't have the room. The door's closed on him. He should have stuck to the inside. It's easier to carry the speed on the inside. But now Squirrel gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in pit lane. Very easy to do when you have no front wing, because you just lock up and go straight very fast into the pit line. But now Zonic potentially feeling the pressure here. But now also maybe Tokyo Griffin feeling the pressure from Mac behind. Mac had a little bit of an incident earlier in this race. Might not have affected him. But now the Ferrari has looked down the inside of Tokyo Griffin. There's yellow flag in sector 3. I think it's Coolboy in the Haas. But yeah, it is. But now the Ferrari driver getting super close with the DRS here. But sadly, Tokyo Griffin just holding on to Sonic's DRS just enough. As, Melbourne Mac nearly makes contact with the rear end there of the Alfa Romeo driver. And now Tokyo is right behind the rear of the Haas. Maybe he might try the inside this time. Will he go for it? He opens up the DRS. I don't think he'll gain enough. They're all out of battery except for Zonix. The DRS isn't going to be enough, but now the Ferrari Melbourne Mac is going to look right around the outside here. He's going to try copy what Griffin couldn't do, and they are side by side through this entire complex here. He gets on the curve, nearly beats the cars. Oh, they've made contact and they've synchronized spun. Yeah, it's not a portion of racetrack where you want to go side by side. There's not a lot of room there. I think Melbourne Mac used a bit of curb on the left-hand side, nearly did what Squirrel did, and maybe even got a bit too much rotation into Tokyo Griffin. Unfortunate from him, as we see Pro Gamer in the pits and back out on the hard tyres. Oh, Melbourne Mac, he must be overheating his tyres. There's brilliant car control displayed on show by the Ferrari there, unlike a certain real-life driver, Charles Leclerc at France. But the yellow flag in sector 3. Is that a McLaren? No, it's not. It's a Haas. It's Coolboy again. Coolboy maybe calling quits in this race. Yeah, he's on the soft tyres. Maybe just calling quits. Doesn't want to be here. He's on the soft compounder tyre. He sped into the pit lane again. He's definitely given up. He's looking to be disqualified. There's no way he isn't going disqualified. No, he's retired in the pit lane. Is he going to strap fresh tyres onto that Haas? Okay, he will stop in the pits. What's the closest gap here? Sorry, there's not a lot of battling on track here. Oh, I think Coolboy's car has come back out on the track. I'm just going to skip through the cars here to Pro Game. Oh yeah, Coolboy's car has come out of the pit lane. Stopped on track, it's now gone, so there's not going to be a safety car. We actually could use a safety car. This is quite boring. There's not a lot of racing going on. Whenever a race seems to emerge, there's contact, so not ideally what we want to see for the entertainment purposes of this Grand Prix, as we want to see racing on track. We want to see cars wheel to wheel. But we do see Rhino 2.2 seconds. He looks like he's holding a solid 2-second gap there to Quaz, as there's also a Williams lap car in between them. Obviously he has to get out of the way, blue flag, but there also is ghosting, so he might not move and just let Rhino just get through on his own manner with pace. But he can't ignore blue flags. He'll get a penalty from the game, as he isn't showing any signs of slowing down yet. Rhino will be trying his hardest to gain on Quaz, but Rhino has lost 2 tenths here into the middle sector. There's yellow flags in sector 2. I think that's Lizard, yeah. Oh, yellow flags, sector 1, 2, and 3. The safety car is deployed on track. Unstopped Lizard spun into the wall and lost his front wing, and that brings a lot of strategy play into it, as now these leaders that haven't pitted yet will be able to pit, as that puts a bit of action back into this race now. Will this rejuvenate Hello There and Rhino and maybe even Mickey to go for this race win? This might bring Melbourne Mac back into it. Zonex and Dead Heat might be able to have a battle again. Tokyo Griffin as well, maybe redeeming themselves, showing that they can race side by side after that incident earlier. But now, who's going to come into the lane? Just about everyone that hasn't pitted yet. The top 4 come into the pit lane. Yeah, Mickey now pulling into the pit. Everybody's in, and now the drivers are coming back out. Quaz is going to come out in P1, the safety car, obviously. Shortened pit stop effect. It's gone from about probably 20 seconds here at the Zandvoort pit lane to being probably about a 10-second time loss because of the delta under safety car in Zandvoort. It's quite harsh, I'll be honest. It's screwed a lot of drivers over, including myself here in league races in the past. The delta just costing me great deals of time. But it's played into Quaz and Rhino's hands, as they're going to keep 1-2. They're going to be on fresh tyres. Zonic inherits P3 from Hello There, but he hasn't pitted yet, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes there. He has to probably pit unless he started on the hards, but I recall everyone starting on the mediums, so unless he pitted for the hards and then pitted for mediums again, because of contact. I don't think he has, though. He needs to pit, so he maybe missed the pit lane by accident, maybe not really done a lot of racing at Zandvoort. But this will also, I think, unsod his lap, so that kind of that rules him out. But I don't think Call Me Keg was a lapped car. So, if he can catch back up, maybe rejuvenate his race, bring him back in, and then obviously Squirrel has a lot of work to do, but he'll be happy about this safety car. It'll let him catch back up and just get racing again, as he will want and need to. Oh yeah, Zonix is now in the pit lane, as suspected. Hello There now, getting his P3 back. And Zonix, because he pitted late, is going to drop back down to P8 instead of being P5, I think he was. I think the biggest winner from this might have been Dead Heat. He's up into P5. As Leckdog disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane. Maybe he had a spin in front of the pit lane exit there, as he's been at this. You definitely don't see that every day. As actually, we've had 3 disqualifications in this race. F1 Twitch got disqualified, PSI Legend got disqualified, Lex Dog has been disqualified. I think F1 Twitch and PSI Legends was a glitch, because they were under AI at the start. And I should re-invite them, and then obviously your AI does the entire formation up, and then it gives you back at the lights. So maybe it's accidentally disqualified them when it's going to give it back to their control at the lights at the start of the Grand Prix. I didn't even pay attention to that. I was too busy watching the on-track action and then just kind of watching the drivers who are actually on track as we see. Hello, they're doing some good old tyre warm-up as you'd expect on the safety car. Yeah, all the drivers up and down grid, warming up their tyres, making sure they can maximise the safety car restart. Ugh. So it's Quaz, followed by Rhino, followed by Hello There, then Mickey, who will be brought back into this, maybe even play a bit of the aggressor here on Hello There, and then Dead Heat, Melbourne Mac and P6, surprisingly, then Tokyo Griffin, Zonic, Pro Gamer, and Squiggle rounds out the top 10, and there's Call Me Keg, who's not lapped, and then there's Unsolved Lizard, who I believe is lapped. Yeah, the game's just being bad. People getting disqualified for no reason, then Lex Dog spun near the pits and it disqualified him. The game needs to figure out a better way to detect if you're blocking the pits or not, because you don't get disqualified in real life. You've been in front of the pit lane. Ooh, the Constantina from the safety car coming in this lap as Tokyo Griffin's got a 5-second time penalty for contact with a Melbourne Mac. There's damage at the back there. Was that Pro Gamer? Is that the front wing end plate I saw? No, whose car was that? Ooh, Call Me Keg gets a penalty for making contact with Squirrel now. But let's go to Quaz Quacker to see when he's gonna bolt away with the grid. We'll see who has damage when they pit, as he's bolted already on the exit of the banking. Ryan's gonna get a slipstream all the way down the straight. He won't have enough to go for a move into turn 1, weaving away all the drivers, making sure they get all the temperature. There's already blue flags being waved at a couple of drivers. As Dead Heat getting overtaken by Melbourne Mac. He might be one of the drivers with damages. Quaz Quackers executed a very good restart here. The top 4 still very bunched close together, but P5 is 2 seconds behind them. Good little fight here going for the top 4. Mickey already maybe dropping back a bit more than the others, but Quaz Quackers stormed away. He's nearly got the 1 second already that he needs for when the DRS gets enabled in a couple of laps time. As flicking the steering wheel back to the right, and he's gonna hold the car together. There's blue flags being waved here, there, and everywhere. I think it's for Unsolved Lizards. We see a couple drivers going 2 and 3 wide at the back there. Squirrel losing position, surprisingly, off that safety car restart. Azor, the AlphaTauri. Great car control from Pro Gamer there to catch that. Very sketchy moments. He went left, right, left, right, left, right, like a crisscross. Oh, he's made a very audacious move there on Call Me Keg. And Call Me Keg suffered and got a 3-second time penalty for that. Unfortunate, but now the Haas got involved on Pro Gamer there, and Pro Gamer looks to have rear-ended the... Pro Gamer spun around as Pro Gamer making a lot of contact. Not a good display of driving there from him, making contact with the rear of Call Me Keg, and then hitting Melbourne Mac, hitting Zonix and all of that. But now there's a 3-way fight for P7 here. Will Squirrel emerge victorious? Will he actually come back? He's taken a very aggressive wide line to cut back for a good exit. It's worked to a dream for him, nearly, as the Haas and the Mercedes side by side through the hill section. They make a bit of contact, bit of sketchy Steve stuff there, side by side through this long, fast right-hander. As Call Me Keg didn't have the grip to hold that around the outside. And he just holds it at the pole time. For your reference, Easy Mac was a 111.2. But now, the Haas and Squirrel are side by side, all the way down this mini straight into this next complex of the chicane. As the Haas is going to go down the inside, he's going to hold the inside. They're side by side here. Squirrel goes for a switchback, but he nearly goes all the way right into Call Me Cake. They made a little bit of contact. Yellow flags in Sector 3 at the banking. Somebody spun. It looks to be the Williams of Onsod again. It is. But now, the run down the straight. Squirrel's gotten a terrible run, potentially just slowing down for yellow flags when you don't need to. I doubt it. But now, Call Me Keg looking down the inside as he's been very audacious on the brakes there. He's made the corner just, but he nearly rear-ended Zonic there, and he's just lost out even more. Maybe a bit aggressive from the young Mercedes driver there. But now Squirrel, again, taking a bit wider line than other people, getting a good exit. Now trying to get on the back of the Haas as Melbourne Mac has gotten a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. In the pits again, maybe just giving up in this Grand Prix. The Unsod Lizard is also probably going to retire in the pit lane. But now Squirrel's got a good run. He's down the inside through this right-hander. They are side by side through the middle sector here. Will he hold the position? He's going to go side by side all the way down the straight. A replica of last lap. As now Squirrel has the inside this time around. He's got the position before the corner begins, and he's going to hold it into the braking zone. No accidental swiping of a Mercedes to talk about as Rhino sets the fast lap of the race. I want to go back to this lead fight then. Rhino's within 5/10 of Quaz Quacker here. Will this turn into a fight for the lead? Will this safety car have bring Rhino back into it? As Hello There and Mickey are also fighting here at the front. Mickey very, very close, but Rhino within 6/10. I'm going to go on board with him here. Through the first sector they go into the double right-hander. Rhino within 5/10 now. There's yellow flags in sector 1. It's a Mercedes. It's Call Me Keg. He's off. Maybe a bit of contact there from that battle that I was watching earlier. But now Zonic's also putting the pressure on. But I want to look at this lead fight here. This could be interesting for the two leaders. If Rhino can get the lead, will he be able to hold it? Or will Quaz Quacker now think, oh shit, he's on the back of me, I've got to put the burners on. But then also, if you look at the battery difference, Quaz has nearly 50%, and Rhino has 14. So, Rhino obviously pushing the wheels off that car, as Mickey also right there on the back of Hello There, as he's now going to turn on the ERS, as Rhino just not gaining enough time because Quaz has the ERS to deploy, as Mickey looking to the right, dummying, maybe hoping Hello There goes defensive. He just holds the line. Mickey just getting so close to the back of that Ferrari. Will he be able to make the position up, maybe into the double left-hander? He's gotten a great exit, but Hello There, just maybe a little bit of battery. Yeah, he's a little bit more than Mickey. Now through into the middle sector they go. Hello There, only 4 thousandths down on his personal best. That's how hard he is pushing to stay in front of X2 Mickey here. But now we see Mickey getting even closer. Maybe even if he gets a good exit, have a run into the chicane. As Mickey took a bit of a tighter line, maybe just dodging the dirty air here. As now he looks to the right, but he's just still not close enough, and he's also out of battery. Hello There doesn't have much either, but he still has enough to defend with. He has about 38%, I think I read on the dash. Quite hard to read. But now, Hello There gonna use the battery to its disposal down the straight, I would imagine. To try hold the position. No, he's not using it. And Mickey is gonna pull to the right-hand side. He's gonna go down the inside there, side by side into turn 1. Who's gonna hold the position? Looks like Mickey has it, but then Hello There's still fighting for another day, but they're not gonna go side by side through this section of the racetrack. It's not a smart idea. Squirrel proved that earlier when he hooked it on the curb. And Call Me Keg also proved that when he made contact through there, as Call Me Keg spun at the banking. As Hello There now will be looking to make the position back on next to Mickey. He knows he has the pace, he knows he has the battery. If he's watching the stream, he'll know he has the battery at least. But he also knows he has the battery because the back of that Alpine is flashing and flashing and flashing, indicating he's under 15% battery. But now, Hello There, will he get a slingshot exit onto the straight? No, I think he's playing a bit of a patience game, maybe going for the back straight, maybe just sitting behind, letting the DRS carry him along if he thinks Mickey might be a little bit faster than him. Go to the penalties here. So you see Tokyo Griffin with a 5-second, Call Me Keg with 8 seconds, and Mac with 5 seconds. Other than that, no track limits to talk about here. In the case of the top 4, not a single penalty, and then Tokyo has one in P5, and then nobody has a penalty all the way down to P9, and then P10 also has one, and then P12 doesn't have one. But now, Hello There, just on the back of Mickey, almost just getting carried along, as I said, as I might have suspected here. Hello There, just playing a very patient game. They're both running at the peak of their pace, and I think it's showing here in Zandvoort. They're just running so dead equal. Except I think Mickey. Hello, they're still not deploying, so that could also be why. Hello, they're just using the DRS to stay within Mickey's DRS range, and as I said, pull him along pace-wise, see if they can maybe even have a bolt for the leaders here. As Rhino's very, very close to Quazquacker here. Might he go for a move into turn 1? Looks like he might have charged the battery a little bit. Quaz has 50% though, and Quaz looks to have a very, very low downforce setup on that car, as Rhino struggling to even gain with DRS on, only just gaining a 10th by the end of the straight. So Rhino will need to literally be up his stuff if he wants a single chance in this Grand Prix. Let's go back to the Mickey Hello There fight. Not so much going on, so we'll go back to Tokyo Griffin and Dead Heat. They're pretty close together. Maybe not. There's not a lot of fighting going on. A couple people sitting within 6/10 or so of each other, but nothing, nothing huge. Like no big scraps. Like Hello, they're sitting within 4 to 7/10 of Mickey, but they're not fighting. It's an interesting one, but they are actually catching the leaders. You can slowly start to see in the distance of the off-board shots that they are getting closer. You can see them in the off-board shots now. You couldn't before, but it might have just been the singular corner we were looking at. But Hello There, might he go for a move down the straight? He's quite close. He's within 4/10 of Mickey. Will he just use the battery, or is he just going to save and save and save? Is Mickey using battery all the way down the straight? He's nearly empty on the battery, and Hello There's not using his, and he's still nearly about to get an overtake. So Mickey looks to maybe have a bit higher downforce and having to use more battery to hold the position, but that's why Mickey's gaining time through these other sectors. Just to fend Hello There off, maybe. I think Hello There does have a little bit better pace, though. Especially since he isn't deploying. The hards will start to get a bit worn on about lap 26, but it shouldn't be anything these drivers couldn't handle. Hello There, yeah, Mickey made a mistake there. On the exit, got a bit of a snap of oversteer, maybe even just deliberately letting Hello There through, as Hello There's up on his lap time in Sector 2 because of the DRS, and Hello There's back up into P3, and Mickey's outside of the DRS at the detection point. That will hurt Mickey because Hello There has ERS to play with. Has Mickey clenched the detection? Oh yeah, Mickey's clenched the detection only just. When I checked the delta between each other, it was 1.014 seconds, so a bit of a twist of fate here for Mickey, just holding onto the DRS, but now he's well and truly out of it, making another mistake. It's nearly a 2-second gap now, so let's go to the two leaders here, as there's nothing much else going on track. This is the closest battle on track, and it's for the lead, for all the beans, for all the bacon in this Grand Prix. For the butter, for all the beans in Zandvoort. Who will come out victorious with 10 laps to go after this one? Quacker going even faster. Purple with old hard tyres. Phenomenal driving. Quacker definitely knowing he has the battery to play with now. It looks like he might have deployed a couple of percent, as Rhino using his to stay within the DRS. He's just sticking there potentially for if there's a mistake from Quaz, but it's unlikely. But Rhino just sitting that annoying range where Quacker has to focus and push, but he also can't push too hard. So I'll be hurting his tyres, but then again, Rhino in dirty air, so his tyres will also be getting quite a bit of wear. But yeah, sorry, I'm just running out of things to say here. There's not a lot going on. Rhino's just kind of camping inside the DRS, maybe going for a late race attack, but Quaz has the ERS to cover that, so who knows, honestly. As Rhino's actually dropped out of the DRS ranges, Quaz is going purple in the middle sector again. Quaz is so incredibly fast through the middle portion of the racetrack that it's just pulling Rhino away, and Rhino is now outside of the DRS here in Zandvoort, and that could be very, very hurting to his race. This is yellow flag in Sector 3. I think that's just the Ferrari retiring in the pit lane. But yeah, Quaz has broken the DRS, and now he can comfortably just push away as there's, just yellow flags because of Melbourne Mac retiring in the pits. But can Quaz now just stretch the legs and then chill out and not get any penalties, not make any mistakes for the last 9 laps of this Grand Prix? Yeah, there's nothing much really going out on track now. 1.4 seconds is the closest gap to any driver to another, so it's best to just stick with the leaders, as it is the closest fight. As the yellow flags in Sector 2. That's Rhino. Rhino spun around, and he is now within the clutches of Hello there. Rhino will also need to be careful because his tyres will be hot. Unfortunate for Rhino, maybe thinking, oh crap, I fell out of DRS, I need to push. He's pushed a bit too hard, still not had the pace, and spun around, and now Hello there is looking for P2, but will he have the pace to hold on to P2, even if he gets it down the straight because Rhino gets a bad exit or something? Will he be able to hold it? Because Rhino had the same pace as Quaz, and Hello there does not have that clearly. But Hello there's on the inside, they're too wide, and Hello there's way gone even before the braking zone. Hello there using a lot of the battery. Hello there had like 30 or 40% when he was fighting Mickey earlier, and he just gapped Mickey by using all the battery in the world. And now he has no battery, but also Rhino doesn't appear to have much more, so interesting fight. I think they're nearly on the dead same ERS. So it could be an interesting battle to watch here, as Quaz will now just dance off into the sunset in that Alfa Romeo and go on to claim the victory. Is maybe not, because Rhino might cause a safety car here. He spun into the wall in the McLaren as his day goes from bad to worse. Oh, just unfortunate for him in Div 2, as he's also just left session. Rhino's left. Maybe a bit of a rage quit there. Maybe just frustrated with himself. Turns off the PlayStation sort of thing. You can't be doing that, but unfortunate for the McLaren driver. Yeah, not what you want to be seeing, really. The Quaz Quacker, yeah, he's just dominating this race. The closest gap on track is actually 4 tenths, but it's because Rhino has lagged out, and now the closest gap on track is 2.8 seconds, and, oh no, 2 seconds, sorry, here at the back, but it's yellow flags, and now it's 2.9 seconds, yeah. Cars feeling the tyre wear here, potentially, in the Netherlands, as Dead Heat goes 4/10 up on his personal best. What's that purple? Is he at qualifying pace with 7 laps to go left in this Grand Prix? Is he on a charge? I don't think he is. I think that might have been a glitch. Maybe someone that I have accidentally looked at when I've been flicking by it showed me their delta, not Dead Heat's delta. As now into Sector 3, Dead Heat goes. Now he is 4/10 up on his personal best, but he's also only matching the car in front of him, so unfortunate. He's using the battery here in that Aston Martin. Obviously, the championship winning car last season was the Aston Martin, but not here in Div 2, that's Div 1 of course, in the hands of J-Man, but still that team has had a lot of success here in ORL through the course of Season 1. I actually don't know too much about Season 2, as I only really started watching it, like getting back involved in it a couple of weeks back, I think round 6 for Spain, so I'm a bit out of the loop, but Season 3 will be a good season, but we're still in Season 2 here, and we're at Zandvoort, and it's a very boring race, so may as well talk about next season a little bit, as there's only a couple races left to go. Heading into round 9 next round. We're in round 8, obviously, here. Yeah, big change will go on next season, but you'll see in the 2-week break there'll be quite a few announcements on some change going on within the league, so just look out for that. Join the Discord if you're watching and you haven't already. Get involved with all the action here. Obviously not much action to talk about in this race, but there has been some very, very good races here in this league, and some blockbuster thrills for last lap battles for wins, all the way to a driver who was leading by 11 seconds at Spa, and then somebody rage quit and took them out under safety car. So you can get the most random stuff here, or you can get the best racing of your life. It's normally the best racing. But there have been interesting moments like that safety car incident I just mentioned. I might have only just mentioned that because I was the driver who was in the lead who got taken out. Shh, don't tell anyone. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a good league. Join up if you haven't already. There's nothing to talk about. It's honestly insane. I would commentate if I had something to commentate on, but I'm just sitting here talking to myself because the closest gap is 2.9 seconds. And it's for P8. And the Mercedes has 8 seconds worth of penalties, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway. But, no good battling going on here. Ooh, okay, nearly spinning the car. That could have been a late safety car, as he's all over the road now. So now the closest gap on track is 3 seconds for Dead Heat. There's, yeah, nothing going on in this Grand Prix at all. It's one of those things, Formula 1 is kind of temperamental like that. You either have a really, really interesting race, where you can commentate a heat and it's really exciting, or you have races that, like, bad to overtake and bad for racing tracks like Zandvoort, that is purely a qualifying track, that is utterly boring to watch. And it is boring. I can't sugarcoat it, but it is boring. Like, we could use some sort of late safety car from someone in this Grand Prix. That would be nice. Would be nice. But I don't think perhaps here. we're just gonna watch. We're just gonna watch Quacker drive off into the distance here. Quaz, he has a little bit of a battle here from a lapped car of Pro Game Race right there. He's just lapping cars left, right, and center. He's lapped up to P8 now. Obviously, I don't think he'll catch that half unless it's been a couple times. But lapping to P8, he's really, truly on another level in this Grand Prix. He's got 10 seconds nearly to P2, who is another really fast driver. And now he's going purple in Sector 1 on old hard tyres on lap 34. He's finally deploying his battery a little bit, looks like. He's actually fast. He's about to go purple again, I think. Yep, 2 purples on a lap with old hard tyres. He's 6 tenths up on his time. He's truly gotten comfortable in this race because of the low fuel levels, and he's using his battery, and he's about to set the fastest lap, and then cruise on lap 35, cruise on lap 36 and win. He could go and only use gear 6. He doesn't even need to use gear 8, 7 and 8. He could use gear 6 as he says a 13.2, so crushing the fastest lap by, I believe, over a second with 2 laps to go in this race. Now, I challenge him, if he's watching the stream, I challenge you to only use up the gear 6 for these final 2 laps. I dare you. That might actually create a bit of an interesting dynamic in this race. Do not use gear 7 and 8. Please. It'll create some action. This is yellow flags in Sector 1. Doesn't matter, there can't be a safety car anymore. Call me Keg. This race is boring. Let's get this in the books. There was action at the start. It was a good race at the start. That safety car, I thought it would create some action in this race. It really hasn't. The safety car looked like it created action, but then there was just contact after contact after contact after contact, and then all the drivers got spread out like butter. And now it's boring. And we have domination here, giving me 2020 Lewis Hamilton at Turkey vibes here from Quacker as he enters the final lap. We'll go on board with him for his entire final lap, braking just at the 50-meter board, turning it in. He's truly just got that car on a string and turning it in and turning it, and the car just responds for him. He must have nailed the setup, and he's probably got a good chance of winning Div 1 later today. It's insane. It's truly insane. Like, come on. You can't take anything away from this man. You could say, oh, Rhino disconnected, Rhino's fun. Yeah, that's part of the sport, you know. Quaz has kept his car together. He's held this race win. He's just got to negotiate one more sector. I don't want to give him the commentator's curse, but it looks like he's going to quite comfortably win this Grand Prix. No challenge, no penalties to speak of. A completely clean race here from Quacker as he rounds into the final corner through the banking, the long banking. He's going to weave left and right, and Quacker crosses the line to win the Dutch Grand Prix here in Season 2 of ORL. And just, oh my, what a dominant performance. Hello, they're only crossing the line now to take the flag. Mickey's still on the banking. He's now going to cross the line to round out the podium here in P3. And now Tokyo Griffin on the banking for P4, maybe. Dead Heat might get this, because Tokyo Griffin had a 5-second time penalty. No, Dead Heat has gotten P4 because Tokyo Griffin didn't serve his 5-second, And then now comes P6, and then obviously P7 as Zonix is all the way back here. He should just finish the race in time. Come on, mate, get on with it. No, I'm just kidding. But, great race here from everyone. Good race. The top 10 is Quaz, hello there, Mickey, Dead Heat, Tokyo Griffin, Squirrel, Zonix, Pro Gamer, Call Me Keg, Rhino, and then the other cars are either DNFs or lapped. And great race here today at Zandvoort. Obviously, we still have disputes and tickets to go through, and they will be done swiftly, and we will get the standings out as soon as possible, as I've accidentally just bumped my controller and skipped the podium. But anyway, so we see Quaz, hello there, Mickey, Dead Heat, Tokyo Griffin, Squirrel, Zonix, Pro Gamer, Call Me Keg, Rhino, Unsod Lizard, and then everybody else is a DNF. So quite a few DNFs in there, I think 5. Actually, 2 or 3 of them were DSQs that were glitched DSQ. Feel bad for the drivers that got a glitched DSQ, but what can you do? EA made a dodgy game, but that was a great race today, guys. I think my driver of the day goes to Quaz Quacker. He's just held himself together in such a calm manner and won by 10 seconds with his next nearest rival, who has the second fastest lap. Oh no, Rhino does. His next nearest rival and Rhino had effectively the same lap time, and he's got them by 8/10. So much faster. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the stream today, guys. We'll see you later today for Division 1. That should be a very cracking race, hopefully not as boring as this one. This track is very tricky, obviously. Test the driver's skill. And we'll see you guys later on today in about 2.5 hours.